Welcome to the Dirt Board Jesters podcast, your home for dirt track racing across the country and right here in Southwest Ohio. This is Josh, joined by EJ. It's episode 79, the Justin Owen Memorial recap, full-time stars and drivers on their own. I hope you guys are ready to get dirty. This week in dirt racing history, we're going back to April 27th of 2018 at Gas City Speedway with the non-wing sprint cars were on hand. And Thomas Meserol picks up the win. Shane Cottle in second, Brandon Moran in third, Clinton Boyles in fourth, and Landon Simon would round out the top five.
Let me talk to you.
This week's talking points is the All-Star roster is up to 13 full-time teams. We got a bunch of young guns and veterans, so drivers are all over the place. I wasn't sure about how this would turn out, but it's a pretty solid field of cars, Josh. I can't wait to get started with that. They're around here a lot. I won't be surprised if, there's 3, 4, maybe 5 cars battling out for the championship this year.
Definitely.
So right now as drivers, we got number 1, Tim Schaefer, Steel City Outlaw, one of the veterans. We got the number 5 E of Bobby Elliott, number 14 of Zane DeVault, the 20B of Cody Bova, the 29 of Logan McCandless, the 32 of Bryce Lucius, who is ranked number 2 in Ohio behind Cap Henry. Number 38, Leighton Wagner. Number 45, Keith Sheffer Jr. Number 47, Todd King. The number 49 of Cale Thomas. 88 of Joey Amanti. The 97 is Zach Hampton, fresh off his World of Outlaws campaign. And then the number 101 of Caleb Henry, which is your defending champ. So, Josh, who is your pick to win the driver's title?
You know what? It's tough. I like Bryce Lucius there. Cale Thomas is in there. When Zach Hampton came out joining the All-Stars full-time in that 97 ride, I thought, man, that's going to be interesting. And, you got the champ there, Caleb Henry. I like Caleb Henry, and I think Caleb Henry goes back-to-back. I think Caleb Henry is going to be your 2026 All-Star Circuit champion.
Yeah, I wouldn't see that being a bad pick myself. Such a stout field of drivers, and yeah, I just can't wait to get some of these races. I think myself, I'm going to go with Cale Thomas. He's been up there, and then he even had the stint there in the 1A there for a while. It didn't last too long, but, I look for him to, finish big this year.
Yeah, I don't think that's, Cale Thomas, he likes to win around here. Bryce Lucius, if you're second behind Cap Henry, that's nothing to shake a stick at. Cap Henry does his thing here in Ohio as well. There's really, I think, like you said, 3 to 5 legitimate guys, just depending on how the season shakes out, that have a shot. I think Caleb Henry's going to continue to get better, and that's why he's going to be back-to-back champion. But, you can't go wrong with Cale Thomas either, so nice field there for the All-Star Circuit of Champions in 2026.
So we got drivers on their own. Jonathan Davenport runs a pick and choose schedule. And he's getting some gate money to show up to tracks. I just screwed this one up, buddy.
No, you're good. So you don't have to read my stuff word for word, man. You can, it's just kind of a guide. So however you want to word it is all good. So we'll cut that out, and here we go.
All right, so drivers on their own this year, we know Jonathan Davenport. He's running a pick and choose schedule. And some back gate money to show up. Track shit, bro. Shit. Damn it. All right, so here we go. So basically it's Jonathan Davenport to run the pick and choose. We'll just whatever there. Do you got those in front of you? Just real quick.
Yep.
So what is it here? Because I don't.
So
I
there's
want
been
to stay with
talks.
what you're doing.
There's been talks of since he's running this pick and choose kind of thing. There's been talks of tracks or promoters, however you want to look at it. There's been talks of, I guess, that there's places that say, hey, if you show up to race our event, yes.
Because they was talking about that a while, dude. I'm sorry for messing up, but I got you now.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I've heard it, so
I've heard a lot of that too. So all right, I understand.
That's all right.
So,
all right, we'll cut that out and we'll get it going here.
All right. All right, so this year, drivers on their own. We got Jonathan Davenport to run a pick and choose schedule, and we all know he wins a lot. There's been a lot of talks about, and I've even heard maybe Jonathan Davenport has mentioned it before that, you know, if I'm going to show up, I'm going to want something extra because he's showing up with his stuff and doing his own thing, and you know, he's not going to have provisionals to take and all that. And I don't know if it's true, Josh. I don't know what all you've heard about this, but I've heard a lot of talks about that, and we all know JD wins a lot. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been hearing it too, and it's kind of interesting. You know, if you can run a pick and choose schedule, I mean, the guy wins races. Like, you know, there's no arguing that he's going to get his money that way. But if you can work the system in such a way where you can get guys to want you to run at their track and they're willing to pay you some extra money to do so, I can't hold it against the guy. It just makes me think, how many drivers, not necessarily in late models, but any of the other divisions, sprint cars, is there a lot of drivers out there that have that capability, have that kind of attraction associated with them that could do something like that, where they run a pick and choose schedule and get some extra money on the side to be at these tracks and race these events? You know, we talk about the full-time guys that run with the Outlaws or Lucas Oil or whatever the case may be. And there's tow money involved in that. There's points payout at the end of the season that really helps keep guys running full-time national series. So I don't know how many other guys could do it. I think there's some other guys out there. But I think it's an interesting approach, and I'm kind of curious to see if perhaps moving forward, anybody else will try what Superman is doing.
We all want to see Jonathan Davenport at the track because he wins a lot and he's won a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Moving on to the Justin Owen Memorial recap. Great to get back to Lawrenceburg. First race of the season for me, and the first time for EJ at the Berg. What did you think about your visit there to Lawrenceburg, Indiana for the Justin Owen Memorial?
The track was amazing. The racing was amazing. It's everything I envisioned it to be before I even got there. And it was a real good time. Like I was telling you before we started, Josh, I just appreciate, you know, getting with friends, hanging out, watching a race. It was good to, you know, get out, watch a race with you, hang out with your son and watch him do his thing on the wrenches and stuff. It was a real good time. And I'll definitely be going back.
Yeah, it's always a good event. I've made it every year, and I hope to continue to do that. And I like the fact that, you know, USAC's involved in this, and they continue to add money year after year. This year, $804 to start the feature, $284 for the first non-transfer, and I believe it was a little over $8,000 to win. So if they keep trending the way they're trending, I don't think, you know, we're far off from at least $1,000 probably 1,004 to start in 2027. The event continues to grow. There continues to be pomp and circumstance, rightfully so, around the event to honor Justin Owen. I had a great time, always do, and looking forward to getting back to Lawrenceburg in 2027, maybe again here in 2026.
High Limit's going to be there. And yeah, that's definitely rest in peace to Justin Owen. That's such an awesome event.
One thing that jumped out to me, Rico Abreu and his struggles. He didn't make the feature either World of Outlaw event at I-55 and has had kind of a tough go to start the season. I'm thinking, we know all the fallout from Donny and TSR, and I just don't, Donny held on to that for a long time, and now he hops rides and he's looking like the old Donny once again. I'm curious if this continues throughout the season, how long would Rico be willing to put up with this? I don't think that Rico's all of a sudden become a bad driver. I think if you put Rico on the Outlaws, maybe a top 3 guy, but I say definitely a top 5 guy. And he's not making the feature on either night with the series. It's early, but in my opinion, this is a big red flag with how things went for Donny Schatz with TSR. What do you think, EJ?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's mind-blowing that he didn't make either feature. And even with Donny Schatz, it took a long time for him to get to where he was struggling, because I mean, he dominated for years. We all know that. And this tenure with Tony Stewart and Rico Abreu is really young right now. And to see these struggles, it does make you wonder what's going on behind the scenes and all that. And we've also seen Rico, start out slow in some seasons. I think he started out slow the last season when he won a championship. I know for sure the year before that he started out real slow, but once he starts winning and running up front, I mean, you can never count him out of winning any race anywhere.
Yeah, it may just be the way things ended. Donny goes to TSR and they're still tearing it up, right? Win Kings Royals and Knoxville Nationals. And but then we all know, like, there's that transition that happened, and all of a sudden it's like, what is going on? And Donny just struggled for a while.
And he's dominating now. I mean, he's
and then he switches rides and he's back to his old ways. I just, he's TSR, Donny, they all struggled together, but they did for quite a while. And, I don't know. I mean, it's early in the season, but if this is something that continues deep into the season for Rico there, I just wonder how long he's willing to deal with that, because I think at this point, that's where we're pointing the finger. If Donny leaves and all of a sudden he's back to running pretty solid, you just got to have that question there.
Yeah, Enrico's got probably the best guy behind the car and his crew chief. So, I mean, and they've been running good for years. So,
yeah, today the World of Outlaws sent out a memo ahead of their weekend at Knoxville, stating that wheel covers on the left side are illegal at Knoxville and Eldora, and it'll cost you a cool $500 if you lose one from the right side. I've heard rumblings about wheel covers here as of late. Obviously, the memo comes out. They're getting ready to run Knoxville, and Knoxville and Eldora will not allow wheel covers on the left side, and you don't want to lose one either. So, I don't know. Interesting to see it. I mean, I guess it's better late than never. I don't know. Perhaps this could have came out a little sooner, but be that as it may, I don't know. I know I heard some guys talking about why is it a big deal to run covers on the left side, and I don't know enough about that stuff. But clearly Knoxville and Eldora don't think the left side is an issue. They just don't want you losing the right side.
So is it the left side they're making illegal, or the right side, or
the left side? Yep.
Left side. So what are they doing with the right side? Because that's what I've been hearing a lot of talks about. They was doing away with the right front.
And I think I had heard something similar to that. I don't know, maybe a week or two ago.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything since that. And obviously, right now they're saying Knoxville and Eldora, especially, are coming out and saying no left side, but they're not saying anything about the right side. They just don't want you losing the wheel covers that you have. So, interesting memo coming out a couple days before the Outlaws hit Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, it's all in the safety of the fans because they've had wheel covers fly over the fence in Knoxville. So
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers. Oh, no.
All right, so this week's race recap, April 10th at I-55 in Peevely, Missouri with the World of Outlaws sprint cars. It was a wild race. Gravel, Schuhart, and Baylog all involved in a nasty wreck. Did you catch that one, Josh?
I saw the highlights of it, and that's a track that I think would be fun to get to. It looks really racy and some good racing there by the Outlaws at I-55.
Yeah, it's definitely a cowboy up track. We had Buddy Kofoid with the win, Carson Macedo in second, Spencer Baston in third. Then we go to I-75 for the USCS versus the GLSS. Dale Howard with the win, Kelsey Ivy in second, and Ryan Turner in third. Then we go over to Farmer City for the World of Outlaw late models for the Illini 100 night number 1. Be a good race to get to out there in Illinois. I know a lot of racetracks that I definitely want to get to out there, especially for late models.
Yeah.
So we got Brandon Shepard picked up the win there. Tim McCready in second and Nick Hoffman in third. Down at Ohio Valley Speedway for the Gladiator Sprints, Danny Sams III picked up the win. Corey Crabtree in second and Chris Myers in third.
Moving to April 11th, Attica in the Spring Fling, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, Cap Henry gets the win. Bryce Lucius in second, and Tim Schaefer would round out the podium. In the 305s, Brendan Tork gets the win. Casey Zebold in second, and Seth Schneider in third. Move to Atomic, where Fast was on hand. Cole Duncan gets the win. Ricky Peterson in second, and Brian Knuckles from 15th to third. The Valvoline American Ironman late models also there. Caden Black with the win. Adam Stricker in second, and Rod Connolly in third. In the Sport Mods, Jeff Conrad gets the win. Reed Bishop in second, and Kevin Willis in third. Back to I-55, the World of Outlaws sprint cars. Buddy Kofoid gets the win. David Gravel in second, and Donny Schatz in third. I-75 for USCS versus GLSS. Devin Dobie with the win. Chase Dunham in second, and Dale Howard in third. And afterwards, that weekend especially, I was hearing rumblings about tires. I don't know if you caught anything about this, but, GLSS has opened it up to where they can have American racers. USCS does not have that option. And there were some folks that weren't really thrilled about some guys having the option to run the American racer when they couldn't. Did you catch anything about that, EJ?
Yeah, I did hear some stuff about that. So was this race, was it kind of an open tire rule, or was everybody made to run the same tire here?
My understanding was it was open, it was co-sanctioned and open. So your GLSS guys could run American racer. You had to run what your series would allow, though. So USCS guys, they could not run the American racer.
Yeah, personally, I would just like to see the tire rule opened. I mean, tires are expensive. Everything's expensive nowadays. And it's good to see stuff like this. And yeah, hopefully they can keep moving in that same direction more.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've talked about it before, and it just, for guys that got the money, it's not a big deal. But for guys that don't, if you've got series that have a different tire, and that's going to make you determine, am I going to run with that series or not? Because if I am, I'm going to have to go buy some more tires.
Right.
That's going to play a big hand in teams if they're able to run with those series that have decided they're going to allow American Racer, for example, to be on cars. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's early. You know, they're just trying this again this season. I mean, they've tried it in the past. I'll just be curious to see how all this shakes out come the end of 2026.
Yeah, me too.
Back to Farmer City with the World of Outlaw late models and the Illini 100. Bobby Pierce gets the win. Nick Hoffman in second and Brandon Shepard in third. Tyler Erb Turbo from 19th to 4th in that one. Lawrenceburg and USAC with the Justin Owen Memorial. Briggs Danner gets the win. Kyle Cummins in second and Justin Grant in third. In the mods, Brad Goff gets the win. Matt Hamilton in second and Justin Clark in third. In the Hornets, Kevin McCoy gets the win. Landon Ramirez in second and Caleb Humphreys in third. Mitchell's Motorplex US MTS, Tyler Stevens with the win. Jade Lutzenberg in second and Reese Solander in third. Montpelier with some super late models where Rusty Schlink gets the win. Jason Jameson in second and Chad Finley in third. In the mods, Derek Loesch gets the win. Dylan Nussbaum in second and the Jedi Jerry Bowersock in third. In the stocks, Randy Petro gets the win. Tony Anderson gets second and Bronson Means in third. North Georgia with Hunt the front. Hudson O'Neill with the win. Joseph Joyner in second and Ashton Winger in third. Port Royal and the PA Posse 410. Ryan Smith with the win. Chase Dietz in second and Troy Wagaman Jr. in third. Super late models. Max Blair gets the win. Greg Satterley in second and Justin Weaver in third. Selena Highbanks with ASCS, Chris Martin with the win, Sam Haferteef Jr. in second, and Seth Bergman would round out your podium.
We're going to move out to April 12th for Terre Haute for the Jim Hurtubise Classic for the USAC Sprints. We had Kyle Cummins pick up the win, Mitchell Moles in second, JG, Justin Grant rounds out your podium. On April 14th, we go to Volunteer Speedway for the late models. Jonathan Davenport with the win. Mike Marler in second and Chris Madden in third. April 15th, the very next night at Volunteer for the late models, we have Brandon Overton in first, Benji Hicks in second, and RTJ finishing third. Devin Moran was up 14 in that race. On April 17th at the Albany Saratoga Speedway for the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds, we had Money Matt Williamson with the win, Matt DeLorenzo in second, and Stuart Friesen in third. Attica Raceway Park for the AFCS 410s, Cale Thomas picking up your win. Parker Price Miller in second, and Bryce Lucius in third. For the 305s, Steve Rando picked up your win. Seth Schneider in second. And Logan Mongu in third. For your late models, Mike Vandermark Jr. with the win. Todd Brennan in second. And Devin Shields rounded out your podium. We moved to Circle City for the Midwest Thunder 410s. Jacob Denny with your win, the Throttle Shane Cottle in second, and Eric Gentry in third. In your 305s, Brendan McLaughlin with your win, Alfred Childridge Jr. in second, and Matthew McDonald in third. For the MMSA, we had Johnson Ginder with the win, Brandon Coffey in second, and Brendan Chu rounded out the podium. At Molar Raceway Park for the IMCA 305s, we had Dylan Troyer picking up the win, Jalen Montgomery in second, and Ashton Thompson in third. For the modifieds, we've seen Matt Hamilton pick up the win, Justin Haley in second, and Eric Shepard Jr. rounds out the podium. For your sport mods, Eric Shepard Jr. with the win. Kevin Willis Jr. was second, and Tyler Scott rounded out the podium. For the compacts, Jason Ingram picked up the win. Christopher Meyer was second, and then Kevin McCoy in third. For your legend cars, Chase Dempfley got the win there. Jax Floyd in second, and Ryan Swisshelm round out the podium. Then we go to Paragon for the Northern All-Stars late models. The Reaper, Ryan Gustin, picked up the win. Brandon Shepard in second, and Turbo Tyler Erb round out the podium.
I was looking over the results for that race, and there was a lot of good cars there for the Northern All-Star late models.
How big is that track, Josh? Is that a half mile, or is it? I know it's a big one.
You know what? I'm not entirely sure. Paragon Speedway is.
I feel like it's one of the bigger ones out in Indiana.
Okay. All right. A 3/8 mile, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
small.
a 3/8 mile.
All right. Well, they got a bunch of short tracks out there too. So
yeah.
But yeah, what a race there. Then we're gonna move to Volunteer Speedway for the late models. We seen Smokey Chris Madden pick up the win, Zach Mitchell in second, and Brandon Overton in third. We go out to Williams Grove for the Tommy Hennerschitz Classic. For the PA Posse 410s, Troy Wagaman Jr. picked up your win. Chase Dietz in second, and Danny Dietrich rounded out your podium.
Moving to April 18th, Lincoln Speedway and the Weldon Sterner Memorial with the PA Posse 410. Chase Dietz with the win. Troy Wagaman Jr. in second, and Tyler Ross in third. Lucas Oil with High Limit. The Madman Kerry Madsen gets the win. Cy Lynch with a nice second place finish, and Tanner Holmes rounds out the podium. Thunderbolt with Narc King of the West. Justin Sanders gets the win. Dominic Selzy in second, and Chance Grazzi in third. Volunteer with the late models. Jonathan Davenport cashes in, and he walks away with $130,000 from Volunteer. Jonathan Davenport gets the win. Ricky Thornton Jr. in second, and Mike Marlar would round out the podium. April 19th, Tri-State and the World of Outlaws sprint cars. I know the dirt tracks and rib racks fellas were there having a blast, and they get to see Sunshine Tyler Courtney get the win. Emerson Axum in second, and your guy Sheldon Hodenshield rounds out the podium. Brady Bacon from 20th to 4th, and David Gravel finishes 9th. My guy Todd points out that Gravel used coilovers, and Gravel posted that they were trying some things that night, and supposedly they used coilovers, and he qualified 18th. That is definitely not David Gravel. One thing you can say for sure, if he's not going to win the race, is Gravel's going to be up front in qualification, and that was not the case that night. Buddy Kofoid finished 19th after he and Courtney, when they were battling for the lead, got together after spinning, and it would spin Buddy out. Right before this, though, I didn't notice this until I was watching replay. In 1 and 2, Kofoid actually drives under one of the infield tires, comes back on the track, does a little wheelie, which kind of kicks him up some as Courtney's kind of coming down. I don't know that any of that was really, if Buddy doesn't do the wheelie, I think he's got a little bit more control. That accident probably doesn't happen. But I don't know that either of them would really be to blame for that one. Did you happen to see any of that race, the Outlaws there at Tri-State? And if so, what did you think about it?
Yeah, I definitely seen the race. I don't know. What stood out to me the most was the interview in Victory Lane with Connor Wade. Pretty much, I mean, it seemed like, he was disappointed in the outcome of the race to me, and didn't really want to be interviewing Tyler Courtney. And he kind of, put all the blame on Tyler Courtney and was like, you pretty much dumped him and stuff. Which I don't see that being the case. I don't know, man. It was a good race. It was well deserved for Sunshine to get the win. And yeah, like you said, definitely love to see my boy Sheldon running up front. He finally got his first win there last year. And I can't wait to get this year going, man, because I am so excited to see what Sheldon's got in store for us.
I'm sure you are. MMSA was also on hand there with the Outlaws. Jalen Mills would get the win. Johnson Ginder would finish in second, and Brandon Coffey would round out the podium.
For our racing to come on April 21st, which is today, we got High Limited Eagle Raceway. You about to check that out, Josh?
Yeah, I'm excited, and we'll have this wrapped up right on time, and we'll be able to both check it out. My pick is going to be Tanner Thorson. He's looked really good this season, and I think they were there last year, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure he had a top 5, maybe top 3 last year, and I think he's certainly running better this year. So I'm going to go with Tanner Thorson.
Yeah, who got it last year, Buddy?
That sounds right. Yep.
Yeah, I think if Buddy shows up again, which I don't see why he wouldn't. They say that's a badass racetrack, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it is even on the TV. So yeah, I'll go with Buddy on that.
All right.
Then we're going to go April 22nd to Atomic Speedway. They got the Blue Collar Racing Series going on down there. They're running modified sport mods and legends. April 24th for Attica Raceway Park, AFCS 410s and the 305s with late models. Then the Big O for Power Eye 410s. Also Brownstown Bull Ring for the Dig and Dirt 40 with the Mars late models. Carolina Speedway for USCS. Circle City with the Sling and Dirt late models. Mods, Crown Vics, Stocks and Hornets. Georgetown up there in Delaware. We got the Melvin Joseph Memorial with the Lucas Oil late models. I-96 for the GLSS. Knoxville has got the World of Outlaws this weekend. Kokomo Grand Prix out there in Indiana for the USAC midgets. That's their opener, right, Josh?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
They're going to have non-wing 410s there as well. Out at Molar, the late models, mods, sport mods, compacts, and legends. Ohio Valley Speedway with the super late models, steel block late models, mods, sport mods, 4 cylinders, mini wedges. And then Scotland County for the USMTS modifieds. And then Talladega Short Track for the Alabama Gang 100 with the World of Outlaw late models.
Moving to April 25th, BAPS is going to have the York County Nationals with the Lucas Oil late models, Big O, and the Blue Bonnet Showdown with Power Eye 410. Brownstown with Sling and Dirt late models, Cherokee Speedway with USCS. Crystal Motor Speedway is going to have GLSS, Florence with late models, sport mods, Crown Vics, and Legends. Fremont's going to have AFCS 410s and 305s as well as trucks. Montpelier and the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets get their season started. Excited to see those guys out on the track. They're going to be joined by Mods, Stocks, and Hornets. Muskegon County Fast and the Gladiator Sprints going to run together there at Muskegon County, Knoxville, and the second night with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, Kokomo, and the finale of the Kokomo Grand Prix with USAC Midgets and non-wing 410 Sprints. Lawrenceburg with IMCA 305s, Mods, Stocks, and Hornets. Lincoln Park kicks the gates open. EJ, if you haven't been to Lincoln Park, you got to get to Lincoln Park. One of my favorite tracks. Lincoln Park kicks the gates open with non-wing 410 mods, stocks, and bombers. Mudlick Valley is going to have late models, modified sport mods, and bombers, as well as Crown Vics. Peoria and the Gary Sweebold Memorial with Mars late models. Port Royal with the PA Posse 410. Scotland County with the John Fuller Memorial and USMTS modifieds. Sharon's going to have 410s, non-wing sprint cars with Rush, the mods, and Crown Vics as well. Talladega Short Track and the Alabama Gang 100 finale with the World of Outlaw late model. Tyler County is going to have 9 classes. April 26th, Bridgeport with PA Posse 410 and Hagerstown with Lucas Oil late models. EJ, another episode in the books. Episode 79. What do you got for us before we wrap this up?
Yeah, Josh, just like always, man, I just appreciate the opportunity to be here. What you got going on is a really cool thing, man. I'm hoping to, bring the fans that you deserve, man. So like always, Josh, I appreciate the opportunity, and like always, let's go Sheldon Hot and Shield.
That's right. Glad you made it to Lawrenceburg for the first time in the Justin Owen Memorial. Good to hang out. Good to catch some racing. Getting ready to get off here so we can go catch High Limit on FS1. Everybody, this is Josh and EJ. Like, follow, subscribe, and share. We're on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Spotify. Thanks for the support, and we hope to see you guys at the track.